This gentleman, first of all, did I mention he's a FAMU grad? You know, I know y'all think that this is a show about FAMUans, but I can't help it. I didn't know he was a FAMU grad till after I got deep into it. But nevertheless, you know, FAMU tends to bring out the best in everybody. He is certainly what I like to call a Gordon Parks of our generation. He's a director, photographer, he does music videos, and owner of DuPont Productions. So without further ado, we're going to bring on to the mic, I've got to bring him on, Brother Akil DuPont. Welcome to the show, brother. Akil, are you there?
I am here. I had the phone on mute. How's it going, good sir?
Man, that happens to me all the time, sir. But welcome, man, and it was a pleasure. I know you've been busy, and glad we finally got you on the show to talk about your wonderful, absolutely wonderful short film. Before we get to that, tell me, brother, how did you get bitten by the director's bug?
The director's bug. The director's, as you said before, you know, I'm a rattler, you know, and not only am I a rattler, but I'm also a baby rattler. I went to FAMU from kindergarten until I graduated from college, so it's been about 20 years on the campus. And, you know, just celebrating that orange and green for that long.
Absolutely.
And while I was at FAMU DRS, we called it FAMU High back then. While I was at FAMU High, we had a teacher who was around, and he was actually involved in movie production and involved in certain things up north in New York with movies. And, you know, he knew I had a vague interest, and he asked me, hey, you want to come and be on a movie set? You know, maybe do a little production assistant? And it put that seed in me. You know, I wasn't able to make it. I couldn't afford to go to New York in 8th grade at that time, but, you know, it put that seed in me, you know, about the possibility of being able to do movies. And then, so, you know, life goes on, and, you know, I, went and played with the 100, and, you know, then I graduated from FAMU and get a job at a bank. I was a branch manager of a bank for a while, but then that creative bug was just welling up in me. And at that time, creatively, I was involved with Faces Modeling Troupe, and I was in fashion shows and fashion show directing. And, you know, and I enjoyed it so much, and I figured, you know, and I didn't really enjoy corporate world that much, you know, but I was enjoying what I was doing over here. So I figured I might as well change my career path. You know, that's when I started researching film schools to go to. And, you know, Florida State Film School is one of the top film schools in the nation. You know, I decided to drop the application in, and I tricked them into letting me in there, you know, and then the rest is history.
Man, this might be a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Were you influenced by trailblazers such as, you know, the Hughes brothers, John Singleton, Forrest Whitaker, F. Gary Gray, Antoine Fuqua? Were those some of the people that you looked to for kind of not necessarily guidance, but, you know, setting the tone?
I absolutely look to, you know, and appreciate what they've done and look towards their path. You know, John Singleton, you know, being the first African-American nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards, and following that was a gentleman who just did Precious. Wow, his name just escapes me while I'm on the radio. But, you know, he was Lee Daniels. There we go. Lee Daniels, he just did Precious. He was the second, you know, so it took several years for another African-American. It took a decade and a half or so for another African-American to be nominated at the Academy Awards. So I look at these trailblazers and these paths they laid, and you know, I'm very interested in them, and, you know, I study a lot of them. You know, their works may not be works that I'll, you know, use as far as a tone piece for movies that I try to create, but as far as the path, what they've been able to do in the industry, you know, I really respect them and really appreciate them opening doors for us that I can walk through now.
Well, how Antoine Fuqua didn't get nominated for Training Day is unbelievable, but that's not what this show is.
Because, you know, he actually went out on Training Day. He went out, and, you know, the people all the gangsters that were in the movie, those were actual gangsters, you know. Those weren't, they didn't, you know, hire those people off from Hollywood and bring them in. No, those were people of the neighborhood that they got to be in the film. So, you know, going out there and doing things like that, it's amazing, you know.